Tonight we have seen that Epworth supporters come in many different forms. There are staff members, donors, and volunteers. All are important to the mission. All are vital to the kids that Epworth serves. Here to speak about the value of mentoring in Epworth youth and how that experience has touched his life is Jim Marchbank. Jim?
It's a real honor to be here tonight. I learned about the mentoring program when my wife Elizabeth came home and told me that she had decided to be a mentor. And she's the one that really should be making these comments because she does all the hard work and this is easy. And even though I can't see, Elizabeth, would you stand up, please? She told me that she was going to be a mentor and that she had chosen a young lady who was about 16 or 17. The lady had been given up for adoption at birth, and then she bounced around a little bit, and then after that she was finally adopted by a foster family. The foster family eventually gave her up during her teenage years because she was too much trouble. Being a teenager is the definition of trouble. She had been rejected several times. She had a tendency to run away. She had cut her wrist several times and could harm herself. So Elizabeth initially went to visit her in a lockdown facility in Epworth. Facility designed so that she would be safe and protected, wouldn't harm herself or harm anybody else, and certainly couldn't run away. For several months, she met in a conference room with her. They played games, talked, and just trying to make a difference in her life. As her behavior improved, she graduated and got more privileges and was able to go out on shorter trips, longer trips. One of those was 2 years ago at the bike races in downtown St. Louis. And we went down as a family, Elizabeth and I and this young lady. About midway through, I decided I wanted to get a sandwich, and I said, Elizabeth, I'm going to go across the street to Union Station to get a sandwich. And she piped up and she said, can I go too? I looked at Elizabeth because to that point in time, she had not been out of Elizabeth's sight. To the extent that Elizabeth actually waited outside the ladies' room for her to make sure that she was safe. Elizabeth hesitated for a moment and said, it's okay. So she and I went over to Union Station upstairs to the food court. We're standing in line to get a sandwich, and she said, Jim, I have got a great idea. And I said, what? Let's get Starbucks for Elizabeth. And I said, that is so sweet and so thoughtful, but I said, I'm not sure there's a Starbucks around here. And she said, oh yes, there's one right downstairs. And I said, I'm not sure exactly what Elizabeth would want. And she said, skim, non-fat decaf latte. And I said, okay. And I said, that's a great idea. And I pulled a 20 out of my pocket, gave it to her, and she proceeded to go to the front of Union Station. I said, I'll meet you down there in about 2 minutes. As soon as she got out of sight, I realized what a stupid thing I had done. 2 thoughts immediately came to mind. The first thought was that I was a lock for the Epworth Idiot of the Year. I hadn't. Second thought, I saw Elizabeth in high heels with one foot on my face, another on my chest, and with her running as fast as she could. I immediately got my sandwich, went down the escalator and downstairs looking for the Starbucks. I found it quickly. It was where she said it was going to be. I went in and frantically looked around. My heart sank when I realized she wasn't there. Went back in the outside and I was walking toward the front because I knew that's where she would be coming from. And after just about a minute or two, it seemed like a much longer time, she came walking up big smile on her face, and she said, "What's happening, Jim?" She had the trust and the freedom that she not had before. We walked back and we had a glorious day. Elizabeth made such a difference in her life. She helped her with her grammar, with her manners. She taught her that 2 cheeseburgers and chili cheese fries and a large lemonade are not quite as good for you as soup, salad, and water. Everybody here knows that 2 cheeseburgers and chili cheese fries and large lemonade are not that, well, almost everybody here knows that 2 cheeseburgers and, but enough about Kevin Goldinger. I want to talk about this young lady. She had progressed to the point that now that she was attending church with us every Sunday, she was going to youth group. She was helping teach 2- and 3-year-old Sunday school, even went on a few trips with the youth group. She really made some great progress. Just this past summer, we were sitting in our living room, and she announced, "I'm going to go to the VP Fair." And without hesitation, Elizabeth said, "Jim would be happy to take it." I rolled my eyes back because, as Yogi said, it's too busy, nobody goes there anymore. But we went. And if you'll recall, it was a little bit rainy, so we took a blanket and we sat on the wet grass on the hillside under the arch. It was a great night. She knew the band. She knew all the words to the songs, and she was singing all these, and I was sitting over there, smiling, humming occasionally, just trying to act cool. But just toward the end of the evening, all of a sudden I realized that something was pressing against my left shoulder. And I leaned over and realized that was this young lady, so starved for the human touch and that affection. And I reached over and gave her a big hug. I shall not forget that. It's very special. Now for just a moment, I'd like you to do me a favor. For about 10 seconds, I'd like you to close your eyes. Most of you came with somebody. Reach over and touch shoulders against that person. Feel that warmth, that tenderness, that human touch that these children so long for. And that's enough. And I've lost the tonight, in just a minute, you have an opportunity to help give that love and warmth through your financial gift. And I would ask you if you could open your hearts and open your wallets. And I pray that tonight it will set a record, and that the record would be that 100% of all the families here would make a contribution to that worth. God bless you, and the children thank you.